Shalom ubracha, peace and blessings. This week's Torah reading is titled Parshas Yisro. It bears the name of the father-in-law of Moshe, of Moses, who is known in English as Jethro. Yisro was a Kohen Midyan. He was a priest of Midyan, and he comes to join the Jewish people. He sends word to his son-in-law that his wife, that Moses' wife and family are approaching, and Moshe goes out to greet them. And we're going to discuss this encounter in detail in a moment. It's a very important encounter. After this encounter, Yisro observes Moshe leading the people, judging the people, and in what is quite possibly the very first consultation for leadership management, Yisro talks to Moshe about delegation. He says, Lo tov hadovar hazeh, this thing is not good that you stand and you judge the people all day long. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people. You need to delegate, and a system of judges is established. After the discussion of the system of judges, the revelation on Sinai is discussed, and the receiving of the Ten Commandments is certainly the highlight of this week's Torah reading. In the encounter between Moshe and Yisro, we read, Vayetze Moshe, and Moshe went out, Likras Chosno, to greet his father-in-law, Vayishtachu Vayishaklo, and he bowed down and he kissed him, Vayishalu Ish L'Re'ehu, and a man asked his neighbor, L'Shalom, in peace, he inquired of his welfare, essentially, Vayavohu ha'olah, and they went into the tent. So Rashi asks the following question. Any Yodea, we don't know, Mi ishtachav elami, who bowed down to who? Because it just says, Ish l're'ehu, a man to his neighbor. Keshehu omar ish l're'ehu, as it says, a man to his neighbor. Mi hakore ish, who is called man? Zeh Moshe, this is Moshe. Shenemar, as it is written, and it quotes a source from Bamidbar, from Numbers, V'ha'ish Moshe, and the man was Moshe. So Rabbi Kamenetsky asks a compelling question. Why does the Torah leave this so open to interpretation? It can be found in Bamidbar that Ha'ish is Moshe. However, it could have just said Moshe instead of using the term Ha'ish. It doesn't save any words. It's three letters in either case, Ish and Moshe, and it seems to give us a convoluted message. So is there another message that can be received from this? And if we look at the context in which this occurs, Moshe is about to receive the laws of Israel. He's about to receive the Ten Commandments. And in this act of menschlichkeit, of human, positive, dignified interaction with his father-in-law, he goes out to greet him, and he's acting like a person. And perhaps the Torah is alluding to the reality that menschlichkeit, basic human dignity, has to precede the law. That it wasn't enough to tell us that Moshe engaged in this action as a leader of Israel. Moshe engaged in this action as a person. Basic human dignity, human positive interactions, is the platform upon which the Ten Commandments were received. We tend to forget that everything about our religion exists to elevate us as human beings, to help us connect with each other, ish l're'ehu, a person to their neighbor. And by doing so, It enables us to have a relationship with God. The first 10 commandments are ben adam lechavero, between humanity and correction. The first 10 commandments are ben adam lemakom, between humanity and God. The second ones are between humanity and their fellow and their partners in life's journey. The two stand side by side. They cannot be extricated from each other. We build our religious identity based on our human identity. We need to be ish, we need to be people in order to embark on this journey. And perhaps that's why the Torah simply identified them as ish l're'ehu. This is a model for every person and their neighbor to follow, not just for the leaders of Israel. Shabbat Shalom. May the spirit of Shabbat bring peace and love into your heart, home, and your mind.